Hello, and welcome to the New Vibrations podcast. This is the first of our interview episodes. There will be another series of episodes that concern song explorations. The interviews will not be a regular feature, but we are going to have as many as possible because there's so many indie artists that we want to talk to about their journey, about their current projects, about the entire experience of being an independent artist. And sharing these stories to me is one of the main reasons I started this podcast. And today we're going to be talking to Giovanna of Giovanna's Songs. You can find her on Substack at Giovanna Songs. And you can also find her on YouTube at Giovanna Music with a period after it. Giovanna's from Orange County, California. She has put out a few singles, but her most recent is Poppy Fields, and it's actually already gotten a little bit of positive press on Substack, which is always good to see. So, without further ado, meet Giovanna. All right, Gio, how are you doing today?
I'm so good and so happy to be here. How are you?
I had some technical issues, but other than that, I'm just happy to see you.
Yeah, me too.
So, how'd your release party go last night?
Oh my gosh, it went so well, actually. I am so happy and I'm still reeling from it. People did show up and I was so nervous,
Nice.
scared. I had about like 17 people show up and
That's a
had some
lot.
great music. Yeah, it was super hot. It's been like a month-long heat wave in California right now. So there were fans everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I
Trying
get
to like
that.
cool people down. So, but other than that, it was so lovely. Thank you for asking.
So, yeah, I really like Poppy Fields. It's a really good song.
Thanks.
But yeah, I was really concerned because I haven't really done a podcast interview myself before. So I was just actually just as nervous as you were. So yeah,
No worries. We got it all working now. It's all
yeah,
good.
we're talking. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, just tell me about your journey with music.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I've always done music, but never had the like resources to fully do it. Growing up, I still had my guitar from when I was a kid and I still play it. And I started playing guitar around like 11, 12 or something like that. But I grew up in a very like unstable household. So music was something that I latched onto. And I was still like so scared. I've had anxiety all of my life. So even performing in front of people was a no-go for me. I had to make my mom turn around so she could hear me singing. And the high school that I went to didn't have a music program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a very small school. So, and my family didn't have time or money to put me in music lessons or anything like that. So, whenever I could do something music, I would just latch onto it. So, I did some musical theater in high school when that finally came around. And then the pandemic happened and I had to go to college. And I didn't find a program that I resonated with music-wise because the college I went to was very classical and opera-based. And that's not really my forte. So I did psychology as my major and I did music technology as my minor. So I would learn how to do music on a computer with like recording and mixing and doing all of that. And I joined a group where it would just be musicians together making original songs. And I was like, okay, well, I have to push myself to do this. I have a song. I've never shown it to anybody. Like, I need to build up my skills. So that was really like the door open for me. And then I've been trying to, so far now, just like build more music connections, more music collaborators past college now and trying to see where to go from there. So yeah, it's been a slow process. I feel like I've been seriously doing it like for 3 years now. But yeah, that's my little journey.
So how old are you now?
I'm 23.
23. So you're the same age as Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes. Yeah.
But
It's crazy.
she had Disney.
Well, exactly. Yes.
And that's
Had to,
yeah, and that's the big thing is that you have Disney, you pretty much just have a road just paid for you. And
yes.
I'm very impressed considering that you didn't have really any musical background at all. Like I listened to your songs and I'm like, this girl's really good. Like her raw talent is just you have a lot of raw talent. Which is
Thank
why
you.
when I came across you on Substack, like I gotta subscribe to this girl. She's got it going here.
Thank you. That means a lot.
And the way that you support indie artists and all that, like I'm starting a whole nonprofit to help people that don't have the resources to do
Mhm.
this. And that's
That's
the whole
so
reason I
important.
started. Yeah, it is important.
Yeah.
I did see something in an interview that you did last year for, I guess it was a magazine or something, where you said that you actually got a role as Charlie in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm like, as Charlie, like interesting. How did that always like?
Research. Yeah, so, I mean, it was my humanities teacher that threw that on, and I guess he couldn't find a guy that had that kind of, like, bright voice
Well, you
that I
definitely
had. Yeah, thanks. So he was just like, "Yeah, you're gonna be Charlie." I was like, "Okay, great. I'll do it."
So how did it go?
It was so good. That really brought me out of my shell with
Mhm.
performing in front of people, and I think if it wasn't for that, I would have been even more scared to go in front of people and perform because my anxiety is just so bad with that. But it was so fun to portray a character and to sing on stage and to see how far I can go if you just like peek behind a door and just be like, why not? Let's try it.
Oh, I love that. Peek behind a door. I like that. I'm really glad to hear that your release went well. What would you say? Where do you plan to go with your music? Are you planning to do this full time?
That would be the dream. I would love to do that. I'm trying to figure out where exactly to go next after this release because I have a bad habit of starting to write a lot of songs then never finishing it. And so I have a lot in my backlog and it ranges from sad guitar ones to pop rock ones. And I'm trying to be like, okay, what's the theme that keeps popping with all these? Is there a theme? Is there something that I could transform into this like collection? So I'm trying to do that and I'm trying to find music collaborators that I can trust to give my work out and see where we can build from it. But what I can promise is that like it'll be different genres because I can't stay in one box. I
That's
like
actually good.
pop rock.
That's actually
That sounds great.
these days. So the world that we live in today, from what I understand, is that when you put on an EP, and that's really what you probably should do next, is collect your songs into an EP. It's actually good to have a range of genres because we live in a culture that's streaming anyway. People don't really listen to albums anymore. I know you're supposed to listen. I mean, I do, but the reason that EPs do so well is it's like a showcase of your best work. So you shouldn't be
Mhm.
afraid, oh, is this too heavy or is this too soft or any of that? Because you want to be, you actually want to be versatile because you don't know who's going to come along and
Yeah.
hear your work and go, hey, I really like this. And they latch onto that because you never know what song it's going to be that people like, this is the one that takes off. You never know. And the fact that
Yeah.
you have that versatility is huge.
Thank you. I really question that a lot
No,
throughout all
it's
the
good.
work
It's a
I've been
good thing.
putting out. Thanks. Yeah, because I'm always like, well, if people really like people really love the jazz song that I put out, are
Mhm.
they expecting more jazz? Like, I would love to do more jazz, but I don't want to force it
Right.
and have it not be great. So I'm just like, I always tell people, go listen to the other stuff too. Like, please look at that and then come back. Like, I hope you like it all.
I like it all, but I'm very eclectic, but most people aren't like that. The problem in the music industry is that it, as you said, it's a whole box thing. And it's like you get forced into this lane where you do overcommit and then your whole career just,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want that.
It the artists like Olivia's album has a range of all kinds of stuff of like really eclectic kind of like pop rock to the very sad like piano and guitar ballads. And I really love that. And
Mhm.
it helps me see, okay, people can take this all
Yes.
and it's totally fine. Yeah.
She's lucky though, because she also has Dan Nigro working with her and he really does push the range,
Yeah.
which is
He's brilliant.
not normal. Like I like Aaron Dessner, but I can tell he's kind of forced Gracie Abrams and people he's worked with in a very specific lane. And I feel like it's actually kind of hurting Gracie. And I think it actually hurt Taylor Swift too, a little bit. He's fantastic, but it's like he tries to make every song sound like the National. It's just like, no. I like the National, but Aaron, there are other styles of music that exist. Yeah.
Mhm.
And, I think the dream would you be working with somebody like Dan Nygaard who actually does,
Yeah.
I
I've
think
thought
he'd
of
love
that
working
too.
with
Been like,
you.
oh, Dan Nigro, that would be dream producer kind of stuff. Oh my gosh.
But you understand what I'm saying, that what you're
Yes.
worried about is actually a good thing. You actually want to have range because why do you think people do so many covers? Because they want to see, okay, what do people like from me specifically? What do people latch onto? Like the way that you latched onto music, in tough times, what are people in their emotional times going to latch onto? Because music's all about emotion. And as long as you're sharing your emotion, like Poppy Fields is a song I think that people latch onto if enough people hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that you have a lot of raw talent as a songwriter and a lot of raw talent vocally and musically. Even to me, music theory is kind of a mystery to me too. But
I hate music theory.
but the thing is, you're clearly doing okay because a lot of music is just feel. Once you have kind of a rhythm going and a beat going, and once the melodies and harmonies start to come together, it just works. It just works. Especially,
Yeah.
it seems like you have really good bandmates who are able to kind of pick up on certain cues. That's really important. People really
Yeah.
underestimate, like I know a lot of people that do solo and they do band, and having solo and having band is so different. People think, oh, well, it's the same. No, it's not the same thing. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know how many solos you've done, but
It's tough being solo because it's finding those type of people that is hard to do sometimes. And those people are so talented. They're so busy
yeah,
because they're in 3 other projects. So I was lucky enough with Poppy Field that I made this with my friend a year ago, and he's in 3 other bands, and he's doing school. And every time I'm like, oh God, are you free? Or God, please, can we do something?
Well, that's the whole reason
So-
That's the whole reason I'm doing this project where I want to start this nonprofit because I want to have session musicians that are available all the time, like have that be their job. Because
Yeah.
like most studios have session musicians that are there on naturally you're paying for. You're not paying just for the space. You're paying for the fact that you're paying for them because that's how they
Yeah.
eat. That's what
Yeah.
at the table. It gives a roof over
And
their
then,
head. And it's just
yeah, it's tough with like the money part too. Like music costs money.
it does.
It's hard.
Unless you do it all. Because I know a lot of people that DIY like everything. And it takes forever to put out a song. Like I had a friend that it takes her months to put out a song. In between everything else. And she works for herself. She has her own business, and yet it still takes her months. So
Yeah.
that's just the reality. But honestly, the way I see it is that we live in a time where people can just click a button and make a song. No, it's not a song. That's not a song. So I honestly think that what it comes down to is that you want to have a situation where it's okay if it takes time. It's just you have to keep a consistent rollout.
Yeah. Where's tough?
Yeah. And even major artists take 8, 9 years off sometimes. It's and then when they come back, it's like they don't exist.
Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning because I was like, I don't have anything recorded. I don't have even like an idea. I have a very small idea of where to go, but like I need to put it in motion. And I'm like, okay, how do I keep up this momentum if I don't have anything on the horizon? So I'm like thinking, okay, it's got to be really old fashioned now. Covers, more DIY ideas, more stuff like that. So I'm definitely thinking I'm on the same wavelength as you of being like, well, Chapo can take forever on an album, but she has a really big fan base.
Right.
So
She's
that's
also trying to
fine.
roll, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And
And she's been dealing with a lot of issues apparently in her life too. I don't know if apparently people are trying to run her out of the industry because they see her as a threat. They see her as a threat. And it's really frustrating.
Her build up it has been insane to see of like her trajectory. So cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, when you go in front of the Grammys and say F the music industry, and that will definitely not make you a lot of friends. And
But we need people like that.
Yeah, we need more people like her. I have a lot of friends that are very anti-establishment, and I personally am not a big fan of the music industry either, which is why I'm doing this project as it is. It's funny, the previous incarnations of podcasts were called Major Labels Suck. Because they do. And I've had multiple people that I've known that had record deals, and some of them never got out of development stage. Some of them put out an album, got dropped. Some put 2 albums, got dropped. And it's like, once you get dropped, it's you're indie or you go work at Burger King.
Yeah, it's very scary. I had or like, "Do you wanna stay independent or do a label?" And I was like, "I would love to do a label, but I've heard so many horror stories that I don't
If you do
know." Like,
if you do a label, you want to do an independent one where they're really more just there as a marketing arm, because that's what an indie label is. But what I'm doing is an indie label, but it's also nonprofit. So it only goes as far as the donations go, but because it goes by donations, it can go as far as the donations go. Because I'm not trying to make money on this, and what that means is the artists get to keep everything. So the
yeah,
only
which
thing
is
that you
so
would do with a
great.
nonprofit label is that you basically are just that artists would allow the nonprofit to use their content to promote things, and that's really it. But then if you gain and like if there's sales or anything, you get to keep all of it.
That's so great. I'm so excited to see that. That's gonna help a lot of people.
It's not a new thing, but usually when they are nonprofit, they're all faith-based things, whereas mine is whatever. I'm not picky. And people are looking at me like I'm crazy, and it's like, this is needed.
Yeah, it is.
Because I look at people like you and I'm like, you're so talented, but as you said, what's next? And I get what I would personally say, just from my own personal experience. I'm not a music industry person. I'm just a music fan who has the resources to make this happen. But I can't just go out and hand blank checks to people either. I'm not Elon Musk out here, like, again, we need billionaires to just hand blank checks to people like you. Unfortunately, our world does not work that way. So what I would suggest is that, yeah, you do covers, because I've heard a couple of the covers that you did on shorts, and I think you should do full versions of those.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
actually,
would.
that's a really great idea.
Yeah, you just gotta
Forget
keep,
about
we
it.
just gotta keep it moving. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
put out something every week. It's just whatever cadence you choose works for you. Whether it's twice a month or once a month or whatever, you just need to have a regular rollout so that you give yourself space. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up in a situation where you're like, well, I guess I'm gonna be working at this McDonald's the rest of my life. I don't know. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But that is what I know. I've actually heard of law students working at McDonald's. I'm not even joking. This world
it gets
this world makes no sense.
stop. It gets tougher every year. It's
But to bring it back,
but it's good.
yeah, to bring it back to the music, like what would you say you're most proud of so far? Probably Poppy Fields.
I am. Yeah. I was really, really happy that like people loved the poppy seeds idea. I was really, really proud of that. And I was like, I'm not sure if people will actually want to plant flowers because I've never planted. I'm bad with plants. I forget that they need water. I'm like, I'm too busy.
Well, I
But
guess most people were putting them in pots, so
yes, yes. I don't expect people to have like garden plots or anything,
no.
but just a nice little plot.
I actually was
Um,
going to take you up on that, but I'm kind of in between places right now, so that was why I
but yeah,
yeah. That's
whenever
okay.
you're in your new place, let me know. I'll send
It'll
it
be in
over.
October or
I was
so.
very, yeah, I was very, very happy about that. And of course, also scared that people wouldn't do it. But I was surprised the reach that it had. I think I mentioned on Substack, like it reached someone in Finland and in the UK and London. And I was like, what? How are they seeing my stuff? That's insane. And even though I sent it out to like just a short amount of people, like 14 people, I was like, that's so cool.
Well, I mean, 14 people on Substack. I mean, that's. I mean, how many? You only have like what, 200 subscribers or something? Like the fact that you even reach 14 people is great. Like I know people that have been
Yeah.
around for a decade. They're lucky if they get 2 people to show up. 2 people, and one of them is their mom. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. This really happens. And that's why I
Yeah.
started. I mean, this is insane. Like, how can somebody be around for 10, 12 years, go to a show, have the email list of hundreds of people, and no one shows up? It's like, oh, well, I guess
That
they
was
had to,
my fear.
I guess they had to work. Like, no, 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 that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
So the fact that
So
that many
yeah, I
people,
guess
I'm proud of you. That was really good.
thank you.
You
Thank you
did
so
a
much.
great
Yeah,
job rolling this out. And that's why I'm like, okay, you
thank
know what? I need to talk to this girl because she really knows what she's doing. And I'm sitting here like, oh no, what if something goes wrong with the interview? And it's my internet connection that decides. And the fact that the Chromebooks are like, no, you need to use separate software. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So at least I'm capturing it on my phone with audio.
Yeah, that's
Totally
totally.
means.
And yeah, no, and I'm so happy that we could do this. I'm very, very happy about the show too. And it's so funny that you said like that. I know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm throwing shit at a wall.
Working.
Very nice of you to say.
The way I see it is it's working. And one of my favorite songs of all time, which is from my favorite artist, Brooke Surgener. It's called In the Room. And one of the lines is, I don't know what I'm doing, but I choose to be here with you. I love that line because it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but as long as you're doing it with somebody you love and care about, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like somebody like Brooke, who's been around forever, like over a decade, she has a really hard time getting people to come to shows. She has a really hard time getting people to stream her stuff. The only time people notice her is when there's some little festival going on and she has a captive audience. It's rough.
I'm starting to realize how hard it is and how important it is. Because, yeah, there's so many talented artists that you've never heard of and you wouldn't know about. And it's a hard thing to even just be like, hey, please listen to this song that I took a year to do. That's 4 minutes of your day. It's so hard to convince people to do that. And I get it because you have life happening around you. Social media is insane and our attention spans are shorter than ever. So you have to come up with like really clever ways sometimes to try to get people to look your way. And even then, it's still like a 50-50 thing. And yeah, I want to, this like show that I put on, it made me want to go out more and meet more people and just get more involved with the community and meet people face to face. Cause you're like, oh my God, like this is where it happens actually.
Mm-hmm. Now you did this in Anaheim, so that's a pretty big deal venue from what I understand.
I mean, kind of. We've had a lot of venue shutdowns in our city, which is not great.
Wow.
And no,
Just
not enough money.
there's no money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the fires
most of the
really,
things here in LA.
the fires really did a lot of damage. And I will never forgive Gavin Newsom for handling that so poorly.
It's interesting, yeah, because we're an hour away from LA, Orange County, and there's a scene there for sure,
Yeah.
but it's just not enough
It got
money. Not enough.
LA used to be huge.
Yeah.
The fires, I think, ruined the music scene there entirely. It does seem now that the scene is now kind of shifted to OC thanks to Olivia Rodrigo.
I hope so.
I
I'm
really wanted one of
surprised.
Daisy Chains. Unfortunately, I did actually try to get in for the wait list and I didn't get any tickets. I'm like, I'm not paying $550 for a general admission scalped. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I was actually going to come down to OC. I was, but yeah, and I would have probably actually ended up being able to talk to you in person, and that would have been great, but
Yeah, no worries though.
unfortunately,
I think like she's gonna have to bring this back. Like
she's going to. Yeah.
it's gonna be huge. Yes.
It's going to succeed. I mean, the fact that Ticketmaster sent their bots in to scalp all the tickets, I literally got in within 5 minutes. And the problem was they didn't let you pre-save your credit card information. So I had to put in my credit card information. And by the time I put it in there, poof, gone. And I waited a couple of weeks and then they were like, all right, hope to see you. I'm like, see me when? In 2027? Like 2029?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And the thing is, I honestly think something like this, and the thing is, the tickets were actually very affordable when they were first went for sale.
Yeah.
But now, even if you want to go, you have to get $550. Like,
Yeah.
where's somebody like you going to get $550?
Yeah, I don't know. The music industry is definitely making me sad a lot of like
is.
there's
And it's not her
problems from the
fault,
low
too.
scale up to the big scale.
It's not her fault. But the sad thing is that those scalp tickets do not benefit Daisy Chain's deals. It only benefits the scalpers. I think that that was illegal in California for Ticketmaster to do that, but apparently it's not a way around it.
No. No, and just the whole country, Ticketmaster can do whatever they want. It's horrible.
They already got sued for that, and they were not supposed to do that again, and they did it again. I'm sure you would love to go to Daisy Chain's Field. And I could afford $1,100 for 2 tickets, but why am I going to do that on top of a flight and the airline?
right.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And the hotel. It's sad. Like, I'm not going to go spend $4,000 or whatever to be in general admissions and be in among the rabble, you know?
Yeah.
VIP tickets were $550. And that's what I was going
Yeah.
for. And that would have been worth it.
I should have got back.
But now you're going to be spending thousands and thousands and thousands, and it doesn't benefit them. Like, I got a ticket to an Al Langley concert. It cost me $1,200, and then my iPhone messed up, and it was in my Apple Wallet, so I lost access to it.
Oh my gosh.
So I lost $1,200.
What does give me like a little bit of hope is I went to see Haley Williams this past summer, and I didn't succeed in the Ticketmaster war because there were too many people that wanted to see her.
Well,
But I did box office,
yeah.
and and I got up to get my ticket, and it was $85 for GA, and I was like, "Oh my God, like, are you kidding me? Like, Haley Williams, she could have charged anything. That's crazy." So I'm hoping that bigger artists take a look
I
around
love what
for
Phoebe
it.
Bridgers did. I love what she.
Yeah,
You
those
went to
are
that,
a
didn't
little
you?
crazy too. But
Didn't you go to that?
so she did a planetarium thing
Right.
for the album release. And
She's
yeah,
in LA,
that
right?
was
Yeah, she's in
surprised
LA.
how cheap that was too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
But
She's done well enough. She doesn't care about the money anymore.
yeah, and
She's done fine.
tour tickets were
So
a little
Torque
pricey.
Taylor Swift, she's fun.
Yeah, but she's still like making accessible things
Yes.
for a cheap price, which is
And I think
unfortunate.
after what happened here, I think Olivia's going to make it where she's going to make it really hard for bots to do that in the future.
I hope so. She definitely needs to lower her concert ticket prices.
Okay,
Even
so here's the thing. She's with Interscope, and therefore it's not all her. When you have a record deal, you can't really necessarily control that stuff. And again, like people said, Taylor Swift tickets were too much, but the thing is, they're talking about the post-scalp prices.
Yeah.
She doesn't benefit from that. That's kind of crazy to think about that. She's a billionaire, and yet she doesn't benefit from all the scalp tickets.
Yeah.
Well, she's a billionaire. Yeah, but she makes all her money from merch and other things. She makes it from residual stuff. But not everybody can be Taylor Swift, obviously. But
Yeah, she's fine, clever.
But the great thing about being an independent artist, this is my personal take on being an independent artist, is you start a Patreon and you get enough people to sign up for your Patreon, and you just give them little sneak peeks and stuff of things, and you can build up $1,000 a month. And then you can start scaling back your work. You can just start working part-time, and then you start having more time to work on your music. That would be my suggestion. Patreon,
Yeah.
YouTube membership, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it through Substack. And I just,
Substack too. Yeah.
I would hope that I could put out content that people would pay for and not feel like, why am I paying this? Like, this is nothing. So I've been thinking about it, of how exactly to go about it, and if people would be willing to pay for a snippet of a unreleased song, or like, here's lyrics that I'm working on, or stuff like that. So that's been in the back of my mind for a little bit.
Yeah. And you can do it on Patreon and Substack. What a lot of people do is they put their things on Patreon, they put it on Substack, and then they also put some short videos on YouTube. What ends up happening is you end up having people paying 3 times for things. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but people will do it.
I hope so. I want to make sure I have like good content.
That's why I'm giving you $100 for you, because I felt like you weren't charging them.
Thank you so much. And that was so kind.
You told me you were crying at work, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yes, I was in work that day, and I was the only one in office that day.
Oh,
And I just thought, I was just like,
You look like, oh, she has lost it. She's having a meltdown. She's having a midlife crisis at 23. What's happening?
looking at it, being like, wait, no way. I was like, oh my gosh, like that. This is the thing. It is really helpful because I can put that money towards ads, so my
Yes.
things can reach people more, and repaying the things I did with poppy seeds and stuff like that. Like oh my gosh, it's so helpful. Thank you so much for
You're
doing that.
welcome. Have you set up a band camp at all?
I need to go back to that. I have only one of my songs I've
You need to put
released
on
on
the
there, and I need to put all of my songs on there
Yes,
again.
please
But
do
I
that.
checked back a couple months ago, and someone paid 149 for it, and I was like, "Whoa, what? How did you find this?" And
Oh,
that's so
people just
cool.
find stuff on. There are people that'll just go on Bandcamp and they'll just sit there and they'll just sample tracks. Oh, this is good. They just buy it. Bandcamp is a great place to be. It really is.
Yeah, to look into that more, and it's just I'm starting to see the power of the indie community.
The indie community is definitely growing at a pace I've never seen. I really like that Music Stack's starting to build up. I've been kind of struggling on Substack. I kind of hit 68, 69 subscribers, and I'm in that nether zone where I just can't get past that. It's like there's this glass ceiling.
No worries. No, thank you for taking the time to look into all of my past stuff too.
Mhm.
And it means a lot that people are out here and actually seeing stuff. Like that's what blows my mind about Substack right now is I'm still trying to have that sink in and it hasn't. Of being like, whoa, people are reading my words and chatting with me in the comment section about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, Substack, it's funny. When it first started, it was really cool. It was like this great place you could find things to read. And then they added notes, and that kind of scared me away from it because I'm like, oh, great, it's going to become another Twitter. Like, I need another one of those.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of evolved into something kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wish that 90% of what I see on there wasn't AI generated. And I like that they're trying to fight that, but the way they're going about it's the wrong way. And a lot of things that aren't AI are being flagged as AI, and it's ruining people's entire livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a weird time that everyone's, I don't know. Nobody knows what to do.
No. But again, as I just said, we don't know what we're doing, but as long as we're doing it together, then we all rise together, we all fall together, and then we rise again. And it's just this ongoing cycle. And as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's all that matters. As long as you're having fun doing it. Because as soon as you don't have fun doing it, it's like, okay, what am I doing wrong that I need to use differently? It's all about having fun. If you're not having fun, what's the point in doing it?
I try to remind myself of that because I can get way too much in my head. And songwriting for me is like the only way for me to process what's going on up here and being like, okay, what am I feeling? What is the lesson I've learned? I have so many notes on my notes app of just like, this won't ever turn into a song probably, but I've still needed to songwrite it so I can understand what's going on in my head.
Yeah, that's what Olivia talks about all the time, is that she believes in quantity over quality when it comes to songs. Because what usually happens, she'll take like 5 different songs. And I've actually worked with a songwriter before on this. That what will happen a lot of times, you'll have 4 or 5, 6 different songs, and you'll pull 2 lines from this, a line from this, a couple of phrases from this, another line from that. You need to write 100 bad songs to write one good song. That's just so what you're experiencing is actually completely normal. It's one.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It is. But see, that's the thing, is you need someone to tell you this stuff. And it seems to me that you do not have that mentorship sort of community to back you up.
Yeah.
And that's the other
Not yet.
reason why I'm starting this. Like, I was hoping that maybe Brooke would talk to you, but she's so busy with her own students, and she's kind of old school, and she really prefers in-person only kind of stuff, which I deeply respect, obviously. And I don't think, she doesn't even have Patreon. She doesn't even have Bandcamp. She doesn't mess with that stuff. She's not that much younger than me, but, she's very old school. And honestly, those are my favorite kind of artists. The kind of artists that they want to live like it's the 90s. But unfortunately, when you're starting a podcast, you're trying to run a nonprofit, you kind of have to live with the times. And
yeah, it's the same thing on our end of just like, okay, I guess I have to be a content creator to get my stuff out there.
Which you are generating content, so anyway.
Thank you. It's such a hard thing to like put your head together and be like, okay, what can I do that people then scroll in 0.3 seconds? Like that kind of thought.
I made a joke. Stop scrolling. I have absolutely nothing to tell you.
Exactly.
I love that. Stop scrolling. Yeah. But there's so many people like me. I don't see myself as very charismatic. I see myself as just kind of a regular person. And a regular person, a lot of times, they go on, they try to do their thing, and it's like people just swipe right past them. Not everyone can be as beautiful as you, um, like, oh,
But your passion, I can tell, is there, and that's what's like important.
passion is all that matters, exactly. And I could tell your
Yeah.
passion. And yes, I was going down Substack, and I'm like, who is this? Like, oh, this is pretty good. So, but yeah, I was actually also impressed. You're also the writer too, which is the thing is, it's kind of ironic that a lot of songwriters aren't very good writers, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying because I am great with lyrics and melody. I'm not great with instrumentals. That's just not how my brain works.
The same with me.
And like with my guitarist who helped me make Poppy Fields, like his thing is guitar. He struggles with lyrics and stuff like that.
That's
so
normal.
it's just yeah. So it's just like you're either one or two things with the musician area.
Yeah. That's totally normal. That's completely so. It seems to me you think that that's kind of just a thing for you, but no, that's 100% normal. That's why the fellowship in the indie community is so important, because you need. It's sort of like in Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. You need fellowship of the music, and so we gotta go get like creatures and elves and stuff up in here. No. If J.R. Tolkien was still around, he'd probably be all over this. So is there anything else that you want to talk about, or anything else that you think people should know about your music?
I feel like if you like the writing of mine, go check out the other stuff because even though it's different genres and maybe that's not your thing, maybe it is, there's strong writing in there. And
I agree.
I'm always trying to push myself to be like, well, maybe this lyric could be better, or what am I really trying to say here? So really the writing is my bread and butter kind of thing. And I hope that's what reaches people and convinces people to come along and just supporting indie artists in any way you can. Every comment, every share, like truly means the world for us.
Saving to playlists too.
Yes.
I actually
It's
have a
literally
private Spotify account where I literally, that's all I do is I just save songs to playlists.
that's awesome. Yeah, because it's so hard for us to know as indie artists, is anything I'm doing reaching people or does anybody care? It's so hard because social media is so big. Everyone wants your attention. So many amazing musicians that you're working together with, but you're also at the same time competing with in a bad way. It's an oversaturated market. It's what it is.
It's extremely oversaturated. And that's the problem, is that we live in a society where it's competition. And the way I see it, music should not be a competition.
Yeah.
Music was never meant to be a competitive field. What's really amazing to me, that the only reason that you get to see Gracie Abrams and Olivia Rodrigo do anything together is they're on the same label. I'm like, wow, they're such a great pairing. Oh, it's because they're on the same label. So you're on the same label, you can't talk to each other because you have non-competes, which it makes sense from a legal perspective, but it's just from a music perspective, it is awful because you're stuck working with artists that you may not necessarily work with well. And you see all these collaborations that are so just, they're forced. Whereas if you're independent, a friend of mine, Sam Gilman, was talking about this, how the great thing about being independent is that if you're in one project, oh, I just want to go start a band with a couple of my buddies. No one's stopping you. That's where being independent is actually the greatest gift, because you can do whatever you want. And you can pivot, you can go become a performance poet, you can go start doing gothic metal, you can do whatever you want. And the only thing that's going to happen is people are going to look at you funny. It's worth it. And then you might need to get a better quality tent. About this, I'm just kidding. No, I hope I hope you're in a safe situation where if your music career doesn't take off, I don't want, if you end up in a tent, just let me know. I'll come join you.
Oh, that's why I have a day job,
Exactly right. Yeah, don't quit your day job, right? So I guess the final question I have is, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
Maybe I'd be doing more of my psychology major. I'm the person that I like to know the whys. Like, why do people act this way? Why do we think this way? Why do we behave this way? That's part of the reason why I did psychology as my major. So I would maybe be doing research with psychology, or also like that's part of my day job. I do event operations and things like that. And with this past show, I had a lot of fun besides the stress of throwing a show together and being like, wow, I can bring together some really cool musical acts and try to get people to come and make a cool experience for people. That's really fun. So maybe I'd do some of that too.
Mhm. So yeah, so that's kind of the good thing that your day job is actually sort of related,
Kinda.
which is
Yeah.
kind of cool. Yeah. The way I look at life is that you take every opportunity as a learning experience that can then benefit you later. Like you said about psychology. I mean, music is all about psychology. It really is. In fact, a lot of people that run labels, I think a lot of them have psychology degrees for that reason. Because I know that there are people with degrees that are literally psychologists. You know how when they workshop songs, a lot of times they have a board of people and one of them is a psychologist. That's like, well, okay, what kind of effect will this have on audiences? Yeah. There's a reason why pop music has the sound and the sort of cadence that it has, because over the years, they've literally put songs through a blender. The psychologists then crunch a bunch of numbers and go, okay, these are the songs that have the best effect for this, the best songs have that way. And that's why you have everything so streamlined and like down to the beats per minute, down to just the number of syllables, the length of the song. It's just like everything is so formulaic that everything sounds the same. Everything's just wallpaper. And I
Yeah.
think having that sort of psychology degree gives you kind of a little bit of a leg up on most people understanding why people do certain things and certain behaviors. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
much.
want to apply it more to my work and analyzing stuff too. I haven't yet because it's something I'd have to sit down and really try to figure out. But I've always had that thought too of being like, okay, how can we make these things work together?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that to me, that's genius is when you take two things that don't seem to work together and make them work, you've done something new. And that's, to me, that's creativity. That's the root of all creativity. And, you have to, what's cool about music is that music is affected by every other creative act that you do. Like, if you're creative in one area, it then affects creativity in another area. Just being creative and getting that momentum, like you were saying earlier, you have to stay on the momentum. You have to keep up pace, or you just end up kind of getting stagnant and you end up like a lot of people do, like Green Day. They just keep releasing songs that sound like the same songs they may have put out 30 years ago. And it's just like, guys, you can retire now. You can go off into the sunset. You don't need to keep making music that sounds like the same music, just with different words. And you don't want to become like that. And I mean, I don't see you doing that, but I'm just saying. So anyway, I guess that's probably it for now. Thank you for your time. I hope actually to talk to you again, to have a proper
Of course,
interview.
yes. I would love to.
Gio, thank you so much for your time and take care. I'll get this edited, and because now it's just audio, so it'll be easier now. The connection's so bad that I'm actually kind of glad it's audio only.
That's all good. All good. I'm so looking forward to it.
All right. Take care.
Thank you so much, Amelia.
Bye.
Bye.